रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नाम्ने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Welcome everyone. Hare Krishna. In another exciting day in the month of Kartik, at the lotus feet of Radha Damodar, I would really express my gratitude to the management of the Parthsarthi Foundation. Thank you everyone for kindly participating, all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis joining in and giving us your continued participation. Today is the last session of the 8-day series on the 8 verses of Damodarashtakam. So let us quickly chant the whole Damodarashtakam and then we will start our discussion. So, Prema Priya Mataji, this can kindly be screen shared. नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले भ्राजमानं यशोदाभियादुलुखलधावमानं परामृष्टमत्यन्ततो धृत्यगोप्या रुदन्तं मुहुर्नेत्रयुग्मं मृजन्तम् कराम्भोजयुग्मेन सातङ्कनेत्रं मुहुश्वासकम्पत्रिरेखाङ्ककण्ठ स्थितग्रैवं दामोदरं भक्तिबद्धम् इति दृक्स्वलीलाभिरानन्दकुण्डे स्वघोषं निमज्जन्तम् आख्यापयन्तम् तदीयेषितज्ञेषु भक्तैर्जितत्वं पुनः प्रेमतस्तं शतावृत्ति वन्दे वरं देवमोक्षं न मोक्षावधिं वा न चान्यं वृणेऽहं परेषादपिह इदं ते वपुनाथ गोपालबालं सदा मे मनस्याविरास्तां किमन्ये इदं ते मुखाम्भोजम् अत्यन्तनीलैर्वृतं कुन्तलैः स्निग्धरक्तैश्च गोप्या मुहुश्चुम्बितं बिम्बरक्ताधरं मे मनस्याविरास्ताम् अलं लक्ष्यलाभे नमो देवदामोदर अनन्त विष्णो प्रसीद प्रभो दुःखजालाब्धिमग्नं कृपादृष्टिवृष्ट्यातिदीनं बतानो गृहानेशमामज्ञां मे द्यक्षिदृश्य कुबेरात्मजो बद्धमूर्त्यैव यद्वद् त्वया मोचितौ भक्तिभाजौ कृतौ च तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकाम्ये प्रयच्छ न मोक्षे ग्रहो मेस्ते दामोदरेह नमस्ते स्तुदाम्ने स्फुरद्युतिधाम्ने त्वदीयोदरायाथ विश्वस्य धाम्ने नमो राधिकाये त्वदीयप्रियाये नमो नन्तलीलाय देवाय तोभ्यं नमो राधिकायै त्वदीयप्रियायै नमो राधिकायै त्वदीयप्रियायै नमो नन्तलीलायै देवाय तुभ्यं हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Damodar, Radha Damodar Radhe. Jaya Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva. Nitai Gaura Haribol, Gaur Haribol, Gaur Haribol, Nitai Gaur Haribol. Angashyamalima chhatabhirabhito mande kritendevaram jadyam jagudarochisham vidadatam pattham parasya shriya vrindaranya vilasinam hridilasaddama viramodaram radhaskanda niveshito jvalabhujam dhyayema damodaram. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Let us dive into the 8th verse in the final session today. We will chant the 8th verse once again and we will see the word-to-word translation for this verse. Namaste Studamne Spuradipti Dhamne Tvadiyodarayath Vishwasya Dhamne Namo Radhikaye Tvadiya Priyaye Namo Nantalilaya Devaya Tubhyam. Maybe yes, upper place for Prabhuji. Please sit up still. Should be sitting up. Hare Krishna. Yes. So let's see the words in the verse. The first word is namaste. Namaha plus te becomes namaste in Sanskrit. That is the first. Namaste means I bow down to you. And then after that, the word is astu. And then that is lost and it becomes namaste stu. So astu means may it be. Namaste, my obeisances. May my obeisances be offered to 3 personalities. 3 personalities have been offered obeisances here. First, Damne Spurad Deepti Dhamne. This whole phrase refers to the rope. Very beautiful, wonderful rope that has bound the belly of Damodar. So the word Damne refers to the rope. And how is the rope? Spurad Deepti Dhamne. It is the abode of inconceivable spiritual brilliance and effulgence. So Spurat Deepti Dhamne refers to the brilliant effulgence coming from the rope. So Dhamne refers to the rope and the adjective for that is Spurat Deepti Dhamne. It is the abode of brilliant light and effulgence coming from the rope. So that's the first obeisance that's offered. Then the second obeisance is offered to Tvadiya Udaraya. Tvadiya Udaraya. Tvadiya means Krishna, your. Madiya means mine. Asmadiya means all of us in Sanskrit. So Tvadiya means your. Your Tvadiya Udaraya. Udara means belly. And how is the belly? Atha Vishwasya Dhamne. It is the abode of the whole world. Dham means abode and Vishwa means the whole world. So 2 obeisances have been offered. First, to the rope around the belly, which is very brilliant, which is the abode of brilliant light, spiritual effulgence. And the second obeisance is offered to the belly, which is the abode of the whole world, Vishwasya Dhamne. Then the third obeisance is offered, Namo Radhikayai Tvadiya Priyayai. To Radharani, Tvadiya Priya, who is Priya of Krishna, who is dearest to Krishna. And finally, the fourth obeisance is offered, Ananta Leelaya Devaya, to Krishna, Tubhyam, unto you. So basically, what we can say is the belly, which is the abode of the whole world, that can be taken with the fourth, to Krishna, basically. So basically, three obeisances are offered. One, to the rope, which binds the belly. Second, to Krishna. And the third, to Srimati Radharani. So that's the essence of the 8th verse. So now let us get into our discussion into this verse. In Ayurveda, there is a saying, Madhurena samapayet, that whenever you eat a meal, you should finish with the sweet. So you don't start with the sweet, you end with the sweet, according to Ayurveda, because that's good for digestion. So Satyavrata Rishi is also doing the same thing. In the meal of Damodarashtakam, he has spoken about everything, and Madhurena samapayet, he is ending with the sweet. There are two meanings to the word madhur. One meaning is madhurya rasa, madhur. Or the second meaning is the sweetest, Srimati Radharani. So he starts off with Mother Yashoda, who's super sweet, and then talks about so many other pastimes also, including the Manigriv, Nalakuver, Narad Muni. They're all sweet in their own ways. Manigriv, Nalakuver are sweet because of Snigdha Kantha and Madhu Kantha that we discussed yesterday. The two associates, the two sons of Kuber, as Manigriv and Nalakuver, after they were delivered, according to Srila Jiva Goswami's Gopal Champu, they were given the role of Snigdha Kantha and Madhu Kantha. They are the singers and preachers of Goloka Vrindavan. They go from home to home speaking the glories of Krishna. So many sweet things have been said in the Ashtakam. But the sweetest is the name of Srimati Radharani. So therefore, Satyavrata Rishi, who's completing the meal of Damodarashtakam, he keeps the sweet at the end. And Namo Radhikaya, he's completing the meal with the sweet. Or Madhurena Samapayet, he starts the Leela with Vatsalya mood of Mother Yashoda. And then he also has Dasya mood, Namo Deva Damodar Ananta Vishnu, like a devotee calling out. But then of all the moods, Madhurena refers to Madhurras. So then he talks about Radha and Krishna, Ananta Leela. Ananta Leela means Rasa Leela, where Krishna, Ananta means unlimited. Where Krishna took unlimited forms, that's called Rasa Leela. So that's the Madhurya Leela. So to conclude the pastime of the Damodarashtakam, Madhurena Samapayet, he's wrapping up with Madhurras or Madhuri Rasa. So two meanings. One, he's wrapping up with the sweet, Srimati Radharani's name, or Madhurena Samapayet, he's wrapping up with Madhur Rasa, Madhurya Prem, in the last verse. Also, you can see in this verse, he is offered the word Namaha 3 times. Namaste stu dhamne spuradipti dhamne tvadiyo darayatha vishwasya dhamne. Namaste starts off with Namaha. Then Namo Radhikayai Tvadiya Priyayai Namo Nantalilaya Devaya Tubhyam. According to poetry, if you repeat a same word 2 times, it's considered to be bad poetry. Because the poet doesn't have so many words in his vocabulary that he is reusing the same word again and again. But for Satyavrata Rishi, that is not true. It's like saying Harir Nam eva kevalam kalo nasti eva gatiranyatha. It's not that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Vyasadev, ultimately in the Brihad Naradiya Puran, they fell short of words and they had to fit in some words twice. Or it's not like there's a printing mistake that they had to print the same word again and again. It's emphasis. So Namo Radhikayai Tvadiya Priyayai Namo Nanta Leelaya Devaya Tubhyam teaches all of us the importance of offering obeisances. Because the word Namaha means to offer obeisances. You see in the Bhagavad Gita, 700 verses, but there's one line which has been repeated twice. Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru. Krishna says, think of me, become my devotee, offer your worship to me, and offer your obeisances to me. Manmana bhavamad bhaktau madhyaji mam namaskuru. This line has come twice. Chapter 9, text 34, chapter 18, text 65. Krishna has said this twice. because it's very important. And for all of us, it's very important because Krishna says, give your mind to me. And when he says, give your mind to me, he's talking about the Ragatmika Bhaktas, the eternal associates like Mother Yashoda, like the gopis, like the friends. Give your mind to me, O conditioned soul in this world, like how my associates give. And we say, we can't do that. Our mind is going all over the place. How can we give our mind to you? Our mind is driven by temporary, fleeting, flickering things of this world. How can we love you and give our mind to you like how Mother Yashoda does? Then Krishna says, okay, man mana is not possible, then bhavamat bhaktau, become my devotee. Okay, fair enough. Then what's the definition of bhakti, to become a bhakta? Rupa Goswami says, anyabhilashita, shunyam, empty your heart of all other desires. We said, we can't do that either. Then Krishna says, okay, if you cannot do ragatmika bhakti like the associates in Goloka Vrindavan, then perform raganuga bhakti. Bhavamad bhakta. Follow with the path of affection. If you can't do that, at least do Vaidhi bhakti, madhyaji. Worship me with some discipline. But in Kali Yuga, cleanliness and punctuality, Srila Prabhupada said, are the two wings of the bird of deity worship, on the back of which we can sit and go back home, back to Godhead. But these two wings are cut. No punctuality, no cleanliness for deity worship. So Krishna is saying, give your mind to me. If you can't do that, bhavamad bhakta, give your heart to me. If you can't do that, at least give your time to me as deity worship. Madhyaji. Krishna, but with jobs and kids and travels, it's not possible to have deity worship done properly. Krishna says, you can't do anything. Namaskuru, just bow down. Offer your body to me. Just bow down and say, I can't do anything. I will take care of you. So when Krishna says, manmana bhavamat bhaktau madhyaji amam namaskuru, it's in the order of, okay, you do this, if you can, then do this, if you can, then do this. Oh, if nothing works, then at least offer obeisances to me. That's the power of offering obeisances. Krishna has spoken about that in the Bhagavad Gita. The last verse of the Bhagavatam also says, pranamo dukkha shamanastam namami harim param. If you keep the holy name on the tongue and offer obeisances to Krishna, the last verse, Canto 12, Chapter 13, Text 23, Bhagavatam describes, by offering obeisances to Krishna and chanting the holy name on the tongue, all inauspiciousness can be removed. Actually, Bhagavatam describes by offering obeisances, pranamo dukkha shamanas, our suffering reduces. Now someone may ask this question, by offering obeisances, how can you reduce your suffering? Doesn't even make logical sense. Well, we suffer in this world because of false ego. And by offering obeisances, we develop humility. That destroys false ego and therefore we don't suffer. There was one impersonalist, sannyasi, aham brahmasmi, I am God, tattvamasi, you are God, sarvam khalu idam brahma, we are all God, pragyana brahma, everything is God. This was his mood. So he got frozen shoulder. And he went to a doctor. And the doctor asked him, since how long is your shoulder hurting? He said, I don't know. The doctor chuckled and he said, dear Swamiji, only if you were a Vaishnav, you would be able to tell me from when your shoulder is hurting, because Vaishnavas offer obeisances. So you will be able to know how many days ago you were able to offer obeisances and since how many days you're not able to. So you will be able to say, since how many days your shoulder is frozen. But because you're not a Vaishnav, you don't offer obeisances, you can't even tell me since how many days your shoulder is hurting. Offering obeisances. Very powerful limb. Very powerful. Dorbhyam padbhyam cha janubhyam urasa shirasa drisha vachasa manasa cheti pranamo ashtanga iritaha. The Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu describes Dorbhyam padbhyam cha janubhyam. When the arms or the palms touch the floor, padbhyam, when the feet touches the floor, janubhyam, when the knees touch the floor, urasa, when the chest touches the floor, shirasa, when the head touches the floor, drisha, when the eyes are looking at the deity, vachasa, when the words of prayers are being chanted, and manasa, a mood of surrender is maintained. These 8 limbs put together call the obeisance as eightfold. Ashtanga. Sashtanga dandavat. Some people write dandavat pranam. Prabhuji dandavat pranam. Mataji dandavat pranam, right? What does it actually mean? Dandavat. Vat means like. And danda means rod. So if you leave a rod, it'll fall like this, without any calculation, whether or not I'll get hurt. Does that person actually deserve me falling on the floor at his feet? Should I just give half an obeisance? Should I give like just a pranam like this? Kali Yuga is great, you can't offer obeisances, then you can do like this. And sometimes if you can't even do that, some people are like, oh, okay. It's like almost like a... And I even saw some people say, hey, Vansha Kalps. It's like we. Vansha Kalp. Vansha Kalpataru Bhyascha becomes Vansha Kalps. Hey, Vansha Kalps. And the other person says, hey, Vansha Kalps. And I'm like, wow. V for Vrindavan, it seems. Yeah. So, but however, Rupa Goswami Pad says the obeisances should be eightfold. The palm should touch the floor. The knee should touch the floor. The feet should touch the floor. The chest should touch the floor. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The head should touch the floor. The eye should see the deity. That's 6. Verbally, audibly, we should chant the pranam mantra. That's 7. And the mind should be thinking of the deity. If these 8 things are there, then it is counted as an obeisance, according to Shastra. Dorbhyam padbhyam cha janubhyam urasa shirasa drisha manasa bachasa cheti pranamo ashtanga iritaha. Then it's called ashtanga pranam. So it's very important to offer obeisances. Very important. That's one thing I learned from my grandmother. Even when she's 85 years old, she's offering 11 obeisances in the morning and 11 obeisances in the evening. Not an ISKCON devotee, but traditional Hindu worshipper of Vishnu, Krishna, and offering obeisances. So in the Shastra, there are so many examples of offering obeisances. Sankhya purvaka nama gana natibihi kalavasani kruto. With respect to Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, it is described. He did 3 things with count. Sankhya purvaka nama, chanting the holy name with count. Gana, singing songs and bhajans according to count. 8 songs a day, 10 songs a day, 5 songs a day. And natibihi. Natibihi means to offer obeisances. Raghunath Das Goswami offered 1,000 obeisances to Krishna every day and 2,000 obeisances to the Vaishnavas. So that makes it 3,000 obeisances a day. And if you offer 3,000 obeisances, you don't have to hit the gym. You don't need Gold Gym and Planet Fitness and nothing. Because people like me are sitting, of course I don't hit the gym either, but I'm a lazy person. But I'm saying because we're sitting on the chair all day without offering obeisances, and that's where there's a problem of back pain and varicose veins and arthritis and whatnot, spondylitis. But if we keep ourselves fit by offering obeisances to Krishna every day, we don't need anything. Another example, Vibhishan offered 1 obeisance to Sri Ramachandra in the Ramayana. And Sri Ramachandra made him the king of Lanka even before Ravana was killed. So when Sri Ramachandra pronounced Vibhishan to be the king of Lanka, the monkeys started shouting. They said, "You made him the king of Lanka? But Ravana is already the king. He's still alive." Ramachandra smiled and he said, "If Ravana comes and offers his obeisances, I will make him also the king." So now the monkeys were even more confused than before. They said, "But you just pronounced Vibhishan to be the king of Lanka and you can have only 1 king. So if Ravana comes and offers obeisances with one out of his 10 heads, and you said you're going to make him the king, which city will you give him?" Sri Ramachandra said, "I will make him the king of Ayodhya." Now that made the monkeys even more confused. They said, "But you already announced Bharat as the king of Ayodhya. If Bharat comes and offers obeisances, what will you do?" Sri Ramachandra said, "I will make him the king of Vaikuntha." Now the monkey said, "But you are the Lord of Vaikuntha. If you make Bharat the king of Vaikuntha, where will you go?" Sri Ramachandra said, "I will rule the kingdom of the heart of Hanuman. That's where I will live." Sakrideva prapanno yastavasmiti sayachate abhayam sarvada tasmai dadami etad vratam mama. Valmiki Muni writes, with 1 obeisance, Vibhishan purchased Sri Ramachandra. Ravana had to offer 10 heads in sacrifice. Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. And then he got Lanka. And Vibhishan got that same Lanka by offering one obeisance. Not 10 heads cut into fire, but just bowing down once. Those who bow before the Supreme Lord, Krishna lifts them up. Krishna lifts them up. Those who fall before the Lord are the ones who are lifted. So many examples of offering obeisances. Look at Gajendra. In the prayers of Gajendra, two things are prominent: the names of the Lord and Namaha. Namaha Shantaya Ghoraya Mudhaya Gunadharmine Nirvisheshaya Samyaya Namah Jnana Ghanaya Cha. Namaha. Namaha Atma Pradipaya Sakshine Paramatmane Namah Giram Viduraya Manashashettasamapi. Throughout the prayers of Gajendra, he's calling out the names and offering obeisances. The Supreme Lord is teaching, even if an animal does that, I will leave Vaikuntha on the back of Garuda to save him. What to speak of a human being who chants through his tongue and offers his body in obeisances. And if you follow Srila Prabhupada's program, it's perfect. You get up for Mangalarti, you're offering obeisances with the holy name. Vibhavari Shesha Aloka Pravesha, you're offering obeisances as soon as the curtains open. You're offering obeisances as soon as the curtains close. You're offering obeisances to Tulsi, you're offering obeisances to Prabhupada. You're offering obeisances again when the curtains open. You're offering obeisances in the afternoon, in the evening, at night. When you enter the temple, you exit the temple. One time Srila Prabhupada was asked, how do we know that we have understood your books well? Prabhupada said, if a senior devotee walks into the assembly and if your head hits the floor in submission, I would agree that you have understood my books. To offer our obeisances. Gurau Goshthe Goshthalayishu Sujane Bhusuragane Swamantre Shri Namni Vrajanava Yuva Dvandva Sharane Sada Dambham Hitva Kururatima Purvam Atitaram Aye Swanta Bhrata Chatubirabhiyache Dritapada. Raghunath Das Goswami Pad says, offer your obeisances to Sri Guru, to Vrindavan, to all the devotees, to the divine couple. Offer obeisances to the holy name, to your Diksha mantras. This is why when we start the day, we say, Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam. We offer our obeisances to the lotus feet of the spiritual master. One time Srila Prabhupada had given the service of making pictures of the acharyas, paintings. And one devotee had that service and he somehow painted them up to the chest. So from the head to the chest, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Gaur Kishore Das Papa, all up to the chest. Prabhupada said, what is this? Half the body? He said, this is not right. The lotus feet must be seen on the picture. And then Prabhupada said, Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam, pointing at the lotus feet. We must offer obeisances at the lotus feet. Even when we offer obeisances in front of the deity, our hands are supposed to go like this. Saying in the meditation that with these two palms I'm touching the two lotus feet. That's the mood. So in this mood, Satyavrat Rishi is using the word Namaha 3 times in the last verse. Namastestu dhamne spura dipti dhamne tvadiyo dharayatha vishwasya dhamne. He says, I bow down to the belly of the Lord, where the whole universe lives. Quite fascinating. In the 7th chapter of the 10th canto, Shukdev Goswami describes that Mother Yashoda was feeding Krishna her breast milk. And then Krishna was so satisfied. And in the middle, as he felt sleepy, he yawned. And Mother Yashoda looked into his mouth and she saw the whole creation. It's described in the 35th verse of the 7th chapter of the 10th canto. What all Mother Yashoda saw? She saw mountains in this big amount. That's all. It was this big amount. And she saw mountains and she saw islands and She saw oceans, and she saw meteors and comets and stars and constellations, and she saw planets, and she saw the sun and the moon. Very quick. And our acharyas get into the scene to start explaining why did Krishna show all this to Mother Yashoda. One acharya writes, Mother Yashoda was thinking in her mind, Krishna drinks a lot of milk. So Krishna opened his mouth to tell Mother Yashoda, look how much is there in my mouth. All the living entities in all of creation are there in my mouth. They are the ones drinking the milk. I still don't get anything. So please don't blame me. Or another meaning is, they are the ones who tell me that they want to drink your milk. So that's why I drink so much. Because, oh mother, I am the Lord of the whole creation and you are my mother. So you're the mother of the whole creation. And the sun and the moon will never have a chance to sleep on your lap and drink your milk. So when I get that chance, they inside my body, they say, can you do, my Lord, please, can you drink some milk on our behalf? And everyone's begging. All the astrological bodies. So therefore Krishna is saying, it's not me, my dear mother. I'm doing it on their behalf. To prove that to his mother, he showed the whole creation in his mouth. Or another reason, during the Trinavarta pastime, Krishna suddenly became very heavy. So Mother Yashoda thought maybe Krishna's become very plump and fat because he's eating a lot of butter and drinking a lot of milk. So Krishna said, no, mother, I am not over fat. I am not plump because of drinking too much milk or eating sweets. Look how much is there in my mouth. No wonder I'm getting so heavy. Another acharya writes, Mother Yashoda has Mukhya Vishwas. What is Mukhya Vishwas in Sanskrit? Mukhya means chief and Vishwas means faith. So Mother Yashoda has Mukhya Vishwas, main faith that Krishna is not God. Krishna is just my child. She has the faith, the main chief predominating faith, that he's not God but he's just my child. So Krishna said, oh, Mother Yashoda has Mukhya Vishwas, then even I have Mukhya Vishwas. What does that mean? Mukhya comes from the root word mukha, which means mouth. And Vishwas can be broken as Vishwa plus Asa. Asa means to swallow and Vishwa means universe. So by swallowing universes in his mouth, Krishna is showing Mother Yashoda, I also have Mukhya Vishwas. Very beautiful play of word. Another reason why Krishna showed the universes in his mouth to Mother Yashoda. He said in the Bhagavad Gita, I have promised, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam stataiva bhajamyaham. As the devotee approaches me, that's how I will reciprocate. So how is Mother Yashoda approaching me? Without duplicity, without hypocrisy. She has not hidden anything. She is the mother and she is just coming as the mother. But look at me, I have some hypocrisy. I am God, but I'm acting as a child. So in the Bhagavad Gita, I have said, if my devotees approach me with duplicity, then I will also reciprocate with duplicity. But if my devotees come with straightforward simplicity, then I will also reveal to them as I am. So Mother Yashoda is revealing herself as she is, as the mother. So I will also reveal to her that I am actually God. And therefore, to prove that, Krishna showed the whole of creation in his mouth. And what is in the mouth goes in the belly. So therefore, Tvadi udarayat vishwasya dhamne. We bow down to your belly, my Lord, which holds millions and millions of universes. Because what's in your mouth goes in your belly. In the pastime of Putana, it is described that when Putana came, Krishna closed his eyes. And Sripad Hari Suriji, one of the commentators on the Bhagavatam, my Guru Maharaj explains that when Putana came, Krishna closed his eyes. Because all the living entities in all the universes in the belly were shouting and screaming, Krishna, you're going to swallow poison. Nothing will happen to you, but we will all die inside. So Krishna closed his eyes and he was rubbing his belly to say, don't worry, nothing will happen. I am there for you. I fear when I am here. So that's why to comfort all the living entities in all the universes in his belly, Krishna closed his eyes. So this is again, we are saying this as an example to bolster, to protect, or to support the point that Vishwasya Dhamne, Krishna's belly holds universes. Even when Krishna ate dirt, one Acharya comments, why did Krishna eat dirt in Braja in the 8th chapter of the 10th canto? Krishna mridam bhakshitavan iti matre nyavedayan. Why did Krishna eat dirt? Because it is described just like Uddhava, who wanted the dust of Vrindavan. All the 330 million demigods, they told Krishna, we want the dust from the lotus feet of the gopis. Krishna said, 330 million demigods want the dust from the lotus feet of the gopis. Well, I came as Krishna in Krishna avatar to take the dust from their lotus feet. And now all of you want the dust from their lotus feet. So what will I have for myself? And demigods, some of you have 4 mouths, some of you have 5 mouths, some of you have 10 mouths. If I start feeding all of you individually the dust of Vrindavan, which is the dust of the lotus feet of the gopis, then I will have nothing for myself. So then the demigod said, so what is the way out? Krishna said, all of you live in my body anyway. All of you are living in my belly. I'm going to put a little bit into my mouth. As it goes through my throat, it's your responsibility how you divide it. Thinking like this, secretly Krishna ate some dust, some dirt of Vrindavan, which had the dust of Sri Radha's lotus feet. Yo brahma rudra shukha narada bhishma mukhyai alakshito na sahasa purushasya tasya sadhyo vashi karana churna mananta shaktim tam radhika charana renu manusmarami. Sripad Prabodhananda Saraswati says, I bow down to the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani, whose foot dust has the power to capture and make Krishna a captive. That Krishna who can't be seen even by the host of demigods. He can be completely captured by the dust of Sri Radha's lotus feet. So therefore Krishna in secret was eating that dust. To tell Mother Yashoda, well, in public I keep some social etiquette and I eat what my friends eat. But if you really ask me what I like to eat, I like to eat the dust from the lotus feet of my devotees. Therefore, in secret, Krishna ate some dirt and dust. Because all the universes, all the demigods in his belly wanted that dust of Vrindavan. Therefore, Tvadi Udarayatha Vishwasya Dhamne. And why is this rope brilliantly effulgent? Because it's not a rope of this world. It is the rope of love. So love is the most effulgent thing in this world. You can see so many people in this world, they put this cream and this powder and this makeup, and they still don't look as good as some of those sadhus who are living by the will of providence in the dham, under the heat and under the cold, just chanting the holy name. There is more light and effulgence coming from those eyes than the eyes of persons with thick layers of makeup. The true beauty is Yat Krishna pranipata dhuli dhavalam tadvarshma tadvaishiras te netre tamaso jite suruchire yabhyam harir drishyate sa buddhir vimalendu shankha dhavala ya madhavadhyayini sa jivvamrita varshini pratipadam ya stauti narayanam. Shastra describes those eyes which glance at Krishna and not look at anything passionate or ignorant in this world. Those eyes are first class. That head which bows down to Krishna so many times that by the dust of the floor, the forehead has become ashened. That head is first class. That tongue which is constantly chanting the holy name is first class. And that intelligence which is remembering the divine couple is first class. And that face which has the best head, best intelligence, best eyes and best tongue by devotion, that face is the most handsome. Because by their devotion, they are giving their hand to some. They are handsome. They are giving their hand in help to some in this world. So, what makes a person very beautiful and attractive is devotion. Effulgence starts coming from their body. So therefore, this rope which is made out of pure love is very effulgent. The belly is the source of the whole universe. Also, one more meaning is it is from the belly of the Supreme Lord that the lotus comes. And from that lotus comes Brahma, and from Brahma comes the universe. So the universes come from the lotus which comes from the navel. So, Tvadiyo dharayata vishwasya dhamne. I bow down to your belly, which is the source, the abode of all universes. And then finally, the two obeisances left are one for Radharani and one for Krishna. Namo Radhikayai Tvadiya Priyayai. I bow down to Sri Radharani, says Satyavrat Rishi, Tvadiya Priyayai, who is dearmost to you. And this is true. Satyam Satyam Punah Satyam Satyam Eva Punah Punah Vina Radha Prasadena Mat Prasado Na Labhyate. Krishna has told Arjun that if you really want to get my mercy, it is true, it is true, it is true. And again I proclaim this is true, O Arjun, that without the mercy of Srimati Radharani, nobody can approach me. Nobody. Radharani is the greatest devotee. And Radharani has been hidden throughout Shastra. Like Krishna says, Aham Bhakta Paradhino, that I am controlled by my devotee. So who is the Bhakta there? Radharani. And not just that, Krishna says, Aham Bhakta Paradhino Yash Swatantra Ivodvijaha Sadhu Bhi Grasta Hridayam Bhaktai Bhakta Janapriya. I am not just controlled by my devotee, Radharani, Bhakta, but Bhaktai Bhakta Janapriya. I am controlled even by the devotee of my devotee. And who is the devotee of Srimati Radharani? The gopis, the maidservants. So Krishna is speaking about Gopi Bhav in the 9th canto. That I am controlled by the devotees of my devotee. My devotee is Radharani, and her devotees are the maidservants, the gopis and the manjaris and the kinkaris and the sakhis. And Krishna says, I am their stuffed toy. I am their plaything. Yad kinkarishu bahusha khaluka kuvani nityam parasya purushasya shikhanda maule tasya kada rasanidhe vrishabhanujaya tad keli kunja bhavanangana marjanisya. Prabodhananda Saraswati says, Krishna is offering his peacock feather and his flute at the lotus feet of Rupa Manjari and begging her with tears, please give me a recommendation letter. Please tell something about me to your Swamini, Srimati Radhika. So that is the position of Krishna, that he's completely controlled by his devotee Radharani and more controlled by the servants of Srimati Radharani. So this is why our mood is servant of the servant of the servant. Because the more we are down the line, Krishna will come first to us. Why? When Radharani rejects Krishna from the Kunj, she says, don't show your face to me. Then Krishna goes to Lalita and Vishaka. They say, don't show your face to us. Then Krishna will go to the maidservants. And those who are experienced, they will say the same thing. Don't come to us. But if there is someone who is newly promoted to Goloka Vrindavan, who has no past experience, Krishna will find the weakest link and go to that maidservant. And she has no clue what's happening. And she's the most compassionate person. So looking at the tears of Krishna, she will go to Radharani and she will make the first and the only mistake of her life. That she will go to Srimati Radharani and say, look, Shyam Sundar is crying. Radharani, please have some mercy. And then like Shyam Sundar, out. You're also out. So then she learns some lesson. And next time when Krishna comes to her, she says, oh, no, don't even look at me. I can't give you a recommendation letter. By then, there's somebody else who has come as a fresh new link on the chain. So more the one, so servant of the 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 servant, and Krishna goes there first in the chain. So therefore Mahaprabhu said, Kintu prodhyan nikhila parama ananda purnamritabder gopi bhartu pada kamalayor dasa dasanu dasaha. I simply am the insignificant, humble maid servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of Sri Krishna, the Lord of the Gopis. Our mood is not to directly approach Krishna. Our mood is to approach through the 6 Goswamis, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Also Krishna has said, Ye me bhakta jana partha na me bhaktascha te jana. Mad bhakta nam cha ye bhakta te me priya kila mata. Krishna has said, those who come and say, I am your servant, they are actually not my servant. But those who are the servant, devotees of my devotee, they are actually my devotee. What is the hidden meaning? Krishna is saying, if you come to Krishna and you say, I am yours, I am your servant, Krishna will not accept. But if someone says, oh Krishna, I am approaching you through the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani, I am the devotee of your devotee, Krishna says, te me priya kilamata. It is true that they are actually my devotees. Therefore, in our temples, you'll never find Krishna alone. Even in the paintings. He's either with Balaram or with cows, peacocks, Mother Yashoda, with Srimati Radharani. That was Prabhupada's standard. Never keep Krishna away from his devotees. We learn a lesson from the Brahma Vimohan Leela. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes 2 offenses. One by Indra, Govardhan Leela, one by Brahma, Brahma Vimohan Leela. So it seems like Indra's offense is very intense because he's trying to destroy Vrindavan. And Brahma's offense is not much. He's trying to test Krishna by kidnapping a few calves. But Chakravarti Pad says Indra offered only 7 verses in begging for forgiveness, and Krishna forgave him. And Brahma offered a whole chapter, and still Krishna did not forgive him. Why? Because Indra's offense, although externally it looks deadly, it only got Krishna closer to his devotees under the hill. But Brahma's offense, although externally it seems to be very insignificant, it took away the calves, it took away the devotees away from Krishna. And Krishna can't forgive that offense. And of all the devotees, the dearest devotee is Radharani. She is the peak on the mountain of devotion in Braja. She's the sweetest. Ashesha bhava hava dhira hira hara bhushite prabhuta shata kumbha kumbha kumbhi kumbha shustani prashasta manda hasya churna purna shaukhya sagare kada karishyasi hamam kripa kataksha bhajanam. Lord Shiva has composed a whole kripa kataksha stavaraj just begging Srimati Radharani for her mercy. This is the position of Srimati Radharani. Krishna in no pastime decides to take the mood of any other devotee. There's no Leela where Krishna wants to become Mother Yashoda, or Krishna wants to become Balaram, or Krishna wants to become a calf. Krishna becomes a devotee only once. And at that one moment, he takes the mood of Srimati Radharani. He goes for the best, chasing the rhinos. So Krishna chased the rhino in the whole list. That is the loving heart of Srimati Radharani. So therefore, Namo Radhikayai, Tvadiya Priyayai. Krishna, I bow down to Radha, who is dearmost to you. Namo Ananta Leelaya Devaya Tubhyam. The word Deva means playful. I bow down to you, my Lord, who is so playful that out of love for Radha, you performed Ananta Leela. You performed Rasa Leela. The word Ananta has many meanings. One, unlimited forms were taken by you in the Rasa Leela. Out of love for one Radha, who manifested in so many forms as the gopis, oh Krishna, you also took Ananta Leela, Ananta forms. And with each gopi, one Shamsundar was dancing. That is only out of love for Radharani. Mool Krishna, the main Krishna, was dancing with Radharani. And the expansions of Radha are the gopis. And to dance with them, Krishna also expanded. One per gopi. But that is because Radha is Tvadiya Priya. She is the dearest. Therefore, the playful Lord performed Ananta Leela. Or the word Ananta means unlimited, in the sense the pastimes of Krishna are not limited by time. Which means even after Krishna wound up his pastimes, those Leelas, Ananta, unlimitedly go on even till this very day in Braj Mandal. Or Ananta means not limited by space. If you are sitting in one place far away from Vrindavan, and if you call out to Krishna with love, Krishna can perform those pastimes even there in that room. Ananta, he's not bound by place. Or Ananta means unlimited love that is displayed by the devotees in each of those pastimes. Or Ananta means with Radha, who is your Priya, and Deva, the playful Krishna, when Radha and Krishna meet, Ananta, unlimited Leelas can manifest. So in this way, Satyavrat Rishi could not help but speak the name of Radha at the end. Because idam te mukhambojam atyanta nilair britam kuntalai snigdha raktaischa gopya. So when he says that in his heart, he sees the form of Radha Damodar. But he's not able to say the word Radha. So therefore he says Gopya. So those who understand it as Mother Yashoda, you take it like that. But he was actually meaning Radha. And he kept it here. He was trying to stop. But then as he was concluding, it exploded. And then he said, Namo Radhika. I can't stop but call out your name. Therefore Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has said, Radhikar dasi jadi hoy abhiman, shigrai mile tar gokule rakan. That if someone has the pride that, oh yes, I am in the camp as a maidservant of Srimati Radharani, very quickly Krishna will run to that person. Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes. Even our Rupa Goswami Pada has said, Srimati Radharani is so special that Sanaka Sanatana Varnita Charite. The Sanak Sanatan, the 4 Kumaras also glorify you, O Radha. Or the hidden meaning is Sanaka Sanatan. From Sanat, 4 Kumaras to Sanatan Goswami. Everyone is glorifying you, O Srimati Radhike. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. So here, Radharani is described as Namo Radhikayai Tvadiya Priyayai. Dear to Krishna. And that's the same thing that Rupa Goswami says. Radhe Jai Jai Madhava Daite. Dear to Madhava. With these words, I conclude today's discussion. The verses of Damodarashtakam, each line, each word, are like an ocean where unlimited waves are constantly splashing. The waves of pastimes, the waves of rasa, the waves of Siddhanta. So much can be said. But I am like a little sparrow, and with the wings of my tongue, how much amount of sky can I cover? So I pray to the Vaishnav community to forgive my mistakes and to accept, like a swan, you may leave behind the water of my mistakes and inability and accept the milk of any attempt that has been made. I am only trying to speak to please the senior Vaishnavas. His Grace Hari Leela Prabhu is so advanced, and if my words in any way can give pleasure to his heart, and if that can bring in blessings from his heart, then one day I may also be given entrance into Hari Leela, the Leelas of Hari. Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Vo Vancha Kalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very nectarian, informative, enlivening session, and we are very much thankful to you. We hope and pray that you will continue giving your Vani association. Please educate us in mystery of so many sweet and confidential pastimes of Sri Sri Radha Krishna that you have accumulated through the maybe Guru Krupa, your study, or whatever education that you have. But it is so nice that you express everything. And we can benefit by developing some taste for devotional service to Yugal Kishore and Kishori. Your compassion, we cannot thank you enough for your compassion that giving, accepting the invitation from Parthsarthi Foundation, spending your valuable time that you give for the benefit of our insignificant souls like us. The Parthsarthi Foundation will remain indebted to you forever, Prabhuji. And I thank you so much from my bottom of my heart. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hari Leela Prabhu. I look up to you like a son looks up to the father. I have heard so many sweet things about you from the Vaishnavas, and even from Arjun Sakha, who had your auspicious association. And it only makes me eager.
Your volume has minimized, Prabhuji.
Yes, I took off my microphone. Is the voice okay now?
Yes.
I was mentioning that I have heard so many sweet glories about you from so many devotees, including Arjun Sakha Prabhu. And it only increases the greed in my heart to be in your association. So I'm just doing this to please your heart, Prabhuji. If you can bless me and offer your prayers, then I may have some hope. On my own, I don't have any hope. But senior Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, when they bless, then Krishna better listen to that. Krishna, if he still doesn't uplift me, then shame on him. That his devotees are blessing and praying, and Krishna is still not uplifting. So I am trying to play that trump card of trying to please senior Vaishnavas.
Hare Krishna. I'm in the Vrindavan Dham. I met Radha Govind Maharaj briefly, and then I'm going to see him in a couple of days. when Radharana Maharaj arranges the meeting with him. But while we are in Dham, we'll pray for all our Parthsarthi Foundation devotees, as well as all the speakers that give benefit to us in, such a glory. And I cannot thank you enough for all of the speakers that we get to enlighten our audience, And especially when you come, we see that here everybody is enlightened, and everybody's experience is so well, and then we get called back from our audience, and they say that we need to keep association with him, so that way we will know the mystery of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the only granth available or remain on the earth, as Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami says, nothing else will remain still. So we would like to know more mystery of Srimad Bhagavatam from you, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for having me, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna.
हरी हरी बोल प्रभु जी एक्चुअली भावराय प्रभु जी को एक होम प्रोग्राम में जाना था, तो वो एक ऑडियो भेजे हैं, अगर आपकी अनुमति हो तो क्या मैं प्ले कर सकती हूँ?
Is it okay, Mataji, if you can privately send it to me, because I have to take one call now.
Okay,
So,
okay.
yeah.
So thank you so
Thank you.
much for very 8 days nectarian class, और in front of you प्रभु जी मैंने काफी मिस्टेक्स की हैं इन 8 दिनों में, तो प्लीज मुझे क्षमा करें।
नहीं. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
जल्दी
Vancha
वापस
kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya vacha patitanam pavanebhyo
वैष्णव
vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna.
His Grace Amrendra Prabhu ki jai.
Jai.
Srila
ISKCON Guru
Prabhupada
Vrinda ki jai.
ki
Srila
jai.
Prabhupada ki
Gaur
jai.
Bhakta
Nitai
Vrinda
Gaur. Hari Bol.
जय
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, हरे हरे।